Hi YouTube, please give me a moment while I connect to Facebook. We will be getting started momentarily. And I think we should be live on Facebook. Hi everybody, welcome to the Strategic Swing Trader weekly broadcast. I am Sami Abu Saad, Director of Education at T3 Live. Hope you're doing well. We're going to take a look at the market, review the market, and then go over some swing ideas for next week. Before we start, as always, a standard required disclaimers to let you know that trading is risky and that whatever we discuss is for educational purposes only. If you'd like to download a copy of my free ebook, link for that is in the description below the video. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Let's turn to the charts and take a look together. I have I think what you will find as a pretty practical suggestion for you going forward. Before we delve in, please be sure to hit the like button, and if you have any questions, please be sure to reach out. info@t3live.com. We have an open house next week, so I hope to see you there. Okay, so here is the market. That's the Qs, which has been showing relative weakness because the tech stocks, the big names, all gapped down, except for Apple, I guess, right? So, but the market is in an uptrend. That's the SPY. So we have higher lows, higher highs right now, right? Higher lows, higher highs. So we have an uptrend on the daily chart of the SPY, the IWM, the Qs, even though it's showing a lot of relative weakness. This low is higher than the previous low, which is higher than this year's low, right? So we definitely have an uptrend. But does that mean the market has bottomed? Does it mean we have a long-term bottom? Not necessarily. It's not clear. If we go to the weekly chart, that's the weekly time frame, we still see an all-out downtrend basically. And the SPY, the IWM, the Qs, especially the Qs. I mean, we haven't even reached the declining 20 on the Qs. So it's the weakest by far. So again, the question is, have we bottomed, or is this simply a short-term bottom? It is not totally possible to answer. Based on the weekly, we're still in a downtrend. Based on the daily, we bottomed. So here is what I'm planning on doing. I'm planning on being bullish, which I have been. I only have one short open, okay, and a lot of longs. So I have been bullish and playing long. But if we take out last week's low, which would be this base here, it's not a base, but if we take out, let's say, 378.65 on the SPY, the IWM would be 178.33. On the Qs, it would be just Friday's low. It should be this pivot. So the Qs would be 272. If we take these out, then I'm going to be back to bearish, because it will be the end of the daily uptrend and maybe the trigger, the continuation of the downtrend on the weekly chart, the trigger of the sell setup on the weekly chart. So again, I don't know whether the market is bottomed or not. I am playing long because the market has recently turned bullish. But if we take out those numbers that I gave you, if we take out mostly last week's low, then I'm going to turn back to bearish. Got it? It's just a workable, practical solution because it's not really possible to tell whether the market has bottomed or not. The weekly still looks awful. The daily looks pretty good and bullish. We saw what happened in July, August, July. Market turned really bullish until it didn't, until it turned really bearish and made new lows on the year. So I'm being bullish for now, but if we break down, then I'll turn back to bearish. Okay, so that's kind of my take on the market. Let's now go over the swing ideas for next week. And again, if you'd like to know which plays I am picking for my own account and for the newsletter, just make sure to join me in this week's open house starting tomorrow morning at 8:45. I think I'll be on the mic. All right, so we have ANF, which has a daily base breakout. It's a minor daily base breakout, so I'm not expecting it to do amazing, but maybe up to here to 21 or so looks okay. We have the GPS, which is another retailer, obviously. That's the Gap store. ANF is Abercrombie & Fitch, your favorite store, your favorite clothing store. I think I like this more. I also like the monthly a lot more. And I actually did have ANF until I trailed out. I think it might have been Friday also. So ANF doesn't look as good as the GPS, but the GPS, I'm not suggesting it now because it's too late. You would have had to take it like a week and a half ago or so. AQN has that transition A on the daily chart. I bet you that's it says power utilities. I was just gonna say that might be, and the same with the BDN, might be a real estate stock, because we have a few real estate stocks open that have transitioned recently, like the CIM, like the there's a couple more, another one that's transitioned, Charter, but that's not real estate, that's communication. So I'm liking these transition A breakouts. So we got AQN for tomorrow, long over 1104. Tie to stop would be 1072. Okay. Arch is a 123, so long over 156, stop under 146. Okay, that's the trigger. It's the same as Shop. Shop is also 123. Neither is perfect. Now Shop could be a long-term play, so I would be much more likely to play Shop as opposed to the Arch, the ARCH. The same thing. Find the highest point, which in this case was Friday's high, 34.78. Entry would go above it with a, and give it a little bit of room, not right above it by a penny, but a few cents, and stop under 32.50, 32.58. But I usually give it a few cents also below the prior bar's low. ARK looks interesting. It will only work if this proves to be a long-term bottom in the market. Because, and this is the ARKF, which is the fintech ARK. ARK, the original ARK, is okay too, but doesn't look as good as the ARKF. So I like ARKF, and again, it would only work if this rally in the market holds. And we'll find out by Wednesday, maybe even sooner, but for sure by Wednesday, because that's when we'll have the FOMC rate decision. So as you can see, ARKF weekly still very, very weak. Okay, but I like it over the base, stop under, and target about $20. So as a short-term swing trade rather than a long-term core play. AVDX, I had a call on it on Friday, didn't trigger. Now it shook out, it came in, and if it goes back up, it'll be, I think, a pretty nice play. So I like it long over about 930, 933. Stop 874, under 874 as a daily base breakout, but I would need to trigger. Okay, BDN, briefly talked about it. Basically, it's a transition A breakout, so over the base, whatever the highest point is, it should be the red bar's high, 666. Stop under 620, and target 1 about 7, target 2 about 8. So it's not a huge target, but decent. The BITO I already have from the break from 1221 when it broke out over the SPAR's high. No, and a little bit, but it was from 1221. So it's not exactly above the SPAR. It was over an hourly base, I think, or something like that. So we'll see. So up here, see it, 1220. So at 1221 I got in. If we take out Friday's low, I wouldn't want to be in it anymore, to tell you the truth. But the reason why I have it on the list is because I think it looks good over $13. Stop under 1250, and target would be up here, 15 maybe, about $15. My favorite crypto right now is BNB, which is the Binance coin. We talked about it in the room last week a lot, and so that triggered, and I'm in. I have a decent amount in it, and I'm hoping it just keeps going. But that's my favorite coin right now. I also have Ether, and I have not only Ether, the crypto, but I also have ETHE. I have 2,000 shares of it. But if we take out Friday's low, I don't think I will stick with it. So if it takes out $10, I'm probably going to get out. I got Ether on the same day that I got BITO, which was that day, okay, when it broke out over the base. So we'll see. BITO over 13 by 1250. ELAN is another transition, so like it higher over 1360. stop under 13, and target about 15, maybe 15.50 or so. Ericsson is an open position, and I have 5,000 shares of it. It's an open position in the newsletter. We played it long over 563, so it really hasn't gone anywhere. I'm sorry, 556, over 556. So it really hasn't gone anywhere, but I do like it higher still over 570. I went ahead and raised the stop to 542, I think. So right here, but I like it over 570, except like I said, I have a decent position already, so I'm not sure about adding to it. Flex, I like it a lot as a long-term play. It's one of my favorite long-term plays. Okay, here's why. This is the monthly chart of Flex. Okay, so I know you might have to squint your eyes or look at on your own charts, right? Look at your own charts, but look at that monthly chart. Look at the breakout on the monthly chart. Amazing. It already took out this prior pivot from 2004 or something like this, already above it, and it's been basing the last 2 years while the market dropped. Well, this year the market dropped, and it looks poised for a breakout to at least 40 bucks. So I really like Flex. Okay, now the entry on it is not very great, not very clear on the daily chart, because it's already moving up. So I got it on the earnings, the day before earnings, and I kept it. Okay, but I do want to add to it if it can take out 2010. So over 2010, big stop. We don't have a tight stop on it, so I'll stick with 16 for now as the stop, as a long-term trade to $40 or so. So I'm looking at 100% gain on the FLEX if it works. LBRDK triggered already on like Thursday or so. We have Charter as an open play, and LBRDK I think is not too late, because look at the monthly chart on LBRDK. This is another broadcasting, or media company, telecom. Look at the drop to major support. That's pretty impressive. Same with Charter, same exact thing. Charter, because it reported it, I think is a little too late now to chase, but the same exact thing. Had a drop from 850 to 300 or so, to below 300 to support. So it's the same exact thing, and I think LBRDK is not as late. Over the SPARS high, 377, stop 337. Long-term play. Meta doesn't look as good because the doji bar on Friday wasn't at the top. Okay, it formed at the bottom. But I'm thinking it might get bought like Snap did. Remember, Snap gapped down a lot and then got bought. So Meta, half long, half over 185 cents, half over 102.50. Stop under 96.38 as a long-term play also. Okay, as a long-term play also. But it doesn't really look that great. But keep in mind, it is Meta. It used to be the top 5 company in the country. And Shop, we already talked about it. So a lot of long ideas. And I have even more ideas in the description of the video. I posted my entire watch list. Here's the short ideas. Not a lot, just a few. APRN, Blue Apron, sell setup. So short under 233. Stop over 278. It looks like it's going to go bankrupt. Sorry to say, I'm just saying it looks really lower. Looks really bad. That's Blue Apron, sell setup. CCK is a breakdown, so short under 67.70. Stop over 71.09. Okay, and then target is about like 50 bucks, I think. It has room to $50. Okay, that's what I'm thinking on the CCK. CTLT, an amazing 1-2-3 setup, but I'm afraid to get shaken out if I use 67.20 as the stop. But it's a really tight stop. Under 65.79 short, stop over 67.20. Alternatively, one can give it a little more room and put the stop, instead of over 67.20, put it up here at 70. Okay, unfortunately we don't have a tight base to put the stop above, and I'm afraid to use the tight stop and get shaken out, get stopped out, only see it drop without me. So my suggestion would be to give it a larger stop. Form is a 1-2-3, so short under 19.80, stop over 20.85. It's a $1 stop, $1 and some change. And that's it. I don't have a lot of long ideas. I'm watching the CS, but I don't like it that much. It's not on the list. If the doji bar had formed at the lows and we didn't have support, then maybe. But that's about it. I only have 4 or 5 ideas short. It's going to be an exciting week, not only because it's going to be an open house week, but also because we will have FOMC on Wednesday. So I hope to see you at the open house, and good luck with your trading next week. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you soon.